What if the answers to life's deepest mysteries have been concealed in plain sight for millennia, hidden beneath a veil of symbolism and secret language? What if one ancient artifact, small enough to fit in the palm of your hand, contained the knowledge to unlock the deepest realms of human understanding, knowledge so powerful that its very existence could change everything we thought we knew about reality, the universe, and our place within it? Welcome to the world of the Emerald Tablet, an enigmatic relic wrapped in layers of mystery and intrigue. This is not a mere artifact of the past, it is a key to understanding the very fabric of existence itself. Yet, for centuries, its teachings have eluded most who sought to understand them. But why? The Emerald Tablet, sometimes attributed to the legendary Hermetic figure Thoth, contains wisdom so profound that it has been passed down through the ages, hidden in code, revered by alchemists, mystics, and secret societies. But its true meaning remains elusive to the untrained eye. Scholars, philosophers, and spiritual seekers have pored over its cryptic verses, each word a key to unlocking a deeper truth about the nature of creation, transformation, and enlightenment. Today, we delve into this powerful text, not merely as a relic of ancient knowledge, but as a living, breathing testament to the power of esoteric wisdom. In this video, we will explore the origins of the Emerald Tablet, the philosophies it holds within its cryptic lines, and most importantly, how these ancient teachings can be applied to our modern lives. Prepare yourself for a journey that will stretch your mind, ignite your curiosity, and perhaps, even change the way you perceive the world forever. In the next few minutes, you will discover the hidden truths that have been guarded for centuries. You will see how the ancient Hermetic teachings are more than just theoretical, they are a practical guide to living a life of purpose, transformation, and spiritual awakening. Ready to unlock the secrets of the Emerald Tablet? Let's begin. To understand the power of the Emerald Tablet, we must first travel back through the mists of time, beyond the known pages of history, into the realms of myth and mystery. The origins of the tablet are shrouded in enigma, attributed to Hermes Trismegistus, a mythical figure often considered a fusion of the Egyptian god Thoth and the Greek god Hermes. Revered as the master of wisdom, writing, and alchemy, Hermes Trismegistus became the symbolic father of Hermeticism, an esoteric tradition that has influenced everything from alchemy and astrology to Gnosticism and Renaissance philosophy. The tablet itself is said to be written in emerald or green crystal, a symbol of eternal life and unchanging truth. The earliest known version appeared in an Arabic text from the 8th century, titled Kitab Sur al-Asrar, the Book of the Secret of Secrets. But legends suggest it existed long before that, perhaps even preserved from the antediluvian world, before the Great Flood. According to some, it was found in a hidden tomb, clutched in the hands of Hermes himself. Others believe it was brought to Earth by beings from beyond the stars, Atlanteans or celestial messengers. Regardless of its true origin, its message has endured. The most famous passage begins with a phrase that has echoed across time: "That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below." This single sentence encapsulates the core of Hermetic philosophy, the law of correspondence. It speaks to the interconnectedness of all things, the mirroring of the microcosm and the macrocosm. What exists in the cosmos exists within us. The universe is not separate from the self, it is reflected in every atom of our being. But why has this knowledge been buried in symbolism, locked behind metaphors and paradoxes? Because true wisdom, according to the ancients, is not given, it is earned. The tablet was never meant to be understood with the intellect alone. Its verses are not instructions, but initiations. Each line opens a gateway, not to linear knowledge, but to an inner revelation. It is a map for the alchemist, not merely one who transforms metals, but one who seeks the great work, the transformation of the soul. Throughout history, the emerald tablet became the cornerstone of Hermetic and alchemical thought. In the Middle Ages, alchemists believed its teachings held the secret to the philosopher's stone, a mythical substance that could transmute lead into gold and grant eternal life. But those with deeper insight knew the gold was symbolic. It represented the purified self, the awakened being who has transmuted their base desires into divine wisdom. This was not lost on figures like Isaac Newton, who translated the emerald tablet and studied its principles obsessively. Or Carl Jung, who saw in its cryptic lines a reflection of the process of individuation, the psychological journey to wholeness. Even today, echoes of the tablet's wisdom ripple through modern metaphysics and spiritual teachings. But despite its influence, much of its wisdom has been lost, distorted, or dismissed. In a world obsessed with the material and the measurable, the mystical often fades into obscurity. The emerald tablet, with its poetic, paradoxical lines, is too easily written off as arcane nonsense. Yet, those who take the time to decode it, to feel it rather than simply read it, often find themselves standing at the threshold of profound transformation. Now, let us begin the journey into the heart of the emerald tablet itself. While its verses are enigmatic, they are rich with meaning, each word pregnant with hidden knowledge, and every phrase a gateway to greater understanding. To truly grasp the depth of this ancient text, we must look beyond the surface, beyond the literal, and allow ourselves to feel the pulse of its deeper truths. The opening line of the tablet sets the tone for the entire work. That which is below is like that which is above, and that which is above is like that which is below, to accomplish the miracle of the one thing. This is the key to understanding all that follows. It introduces the concept of correspondence, the profound truth that everything in the universe is connected, that the microcosm, the small, reflects the macrocosm, the large, and vice versa. What is true in the heavens is true on earth. What occurs in the spiritual realm finds its reflection in the physical. Think of it this way, the universe is a mirror. What you experience on the outside is simply a reflection of what is happening within you. Your inner world, your thoughts, your feelings, your beliefs, they shape your reality. Likewise, the greater cosmos, with all its laws and principles, is reflected in the smallest, seemingly insignificant things. This idea has profound implications, suggesting that the wisdom we seek is not out there in the universe, but within us, waiting to be recognized. This principle of correspondence leads us into a deeper understanding of the universe and ourselves. The one thing mentioned in the passage refers to the ultimate unity of all things, the singular force or source from which everything arises. It is the essence that binds all things together, the divine principle behind creation itself. The ancient philosophers, mystics, and spiritual seekers believed this force could be accessed and harnessed, if one knew how to align with it. Next, the tablet continues with a powerful declaration, and as all things were created from one, through the mediation of one, so all things were born from this one thing by adaptation. This reveals the process of creation itself. All things, everything in existence, emerges from a singular source. This is not just the creation of matter, but of consciousness, energy, and spirit. It speaks to the oneness of all that is and suggests that our universe, with all its complexity, is not a random series of events, but rather an unfolding of a greater design. This section introduces the concept of adaptation, the process by which the one thing, or primal source, shapes itself into the myriad forms we see in the world around us. In the alchemical tradition, this is akin to the process of transmutation, turning base materials, the mundane, into gold, the divine. The world, our souls, even our very consciousness, are in a state of continuous adaptation, evolving, refining, and transmuting into higher states of being. To further grasp the depth of this, consider the analogy of a seed growing into a tree. The seed contains within it the blueprint of the tree's full potential. However, this potential cannot be realized without undergoing a process of adaptation, changing, evolving, growing through different stages of life. This is not just true for plants, but for every aspect of creation, including human consciousness. We are constantly evolving, constantly adapting to reach our fullest potential. Now, the tablet shifts into a more mystical and somewhat paradoxical explanation. Its father is the sun, its mother the moon, the wind carries it in its belly, its nurse is the earth. Here, we see the tablet introducing the symbolic relationships between the forces of nature and creation. The father, the sun, represents light, consciousness, the active principle. The mother, the moon, symbolizes the receptive, intuitive, and reflective principle, the unconscious forces that shape the manifest world. Together, the sun and the moon are the masculine and feminine energies, the yin and yang, the active and passive forces of creation. The wind here represents the breath of life, the unseen energy that carries and nurtures creation as it moves through the world. This can be thought of as the life force or prana, the energy that flows through all living things, invisible yet vital. Finally, the earth is the medium, the nourishing soil that allows life to grow and manifest in physical form. It is the vessel that holds and nurtures creation. In alchemical terms, these elements represent the dynamic interplay between the spiritual and material worlds, showing that creation cannot occur without the harmony of these forces. What the Emerald Tablet is really telling us is that life itself is the result of cosmic balance, the union of opposites, the interplay of spirit and matter, of light and shadow. The principles outlined here are not merely symbolic. They are meant to be understood and embodied. They represent real forces that influence our own lives, guiding us toward transformation. To align with these forces, to harness their power, is to unlock the deepest mysteries of existence. To understand the forces of nature is to understand the forces within yourself. But what does all this mean for you, the seeker? How can you apply this ancient wisdom to your own life? As we journey deeper into the Emerald Tablet's cryptic verses, the mystery only intensifies. The next section reads, "It rises from earth to heaven and descends again to earth, thereby combining within itself the powers of both the above and the below." This passage describes the alchemical ascent and descent, a sacred process of transformation. In esoteric terms, this is the journey of the soul, rising from the physical plane, touching the divine, and then returning, bringing the wisdom of the higher realms back into the material world. It is the path of the mystic, the alchemist, the seeker who dares to ascend beyond ordinary consciousness, only to return empowered, changed, and tasked with infusing higher wisdom into daily life. Think of it as the cycle of spiritual enlightenment. We seek higher truths not to escape the world, but to transform it, and ourselves, through the application of that truth. In modern language, it's not enough to have moments of awakening or mystical insight. The real work is to live that wisdom, to anchor it into our relationships, our work, our very being. This theme echoes across ancient traditions. The shaman who journeys to the spirit world must return to heal the tribe. The bodhisattva who touches enlightenment vows to return to help all beings. The ascent to the divine is not the end, it is only the beginning. The tablet continues, "Thus will you obtain the glory of the whole universe. All obscurity will be clear to you." This is a bold promise. Mastery of the principles hidden within the Emerald Tablet leads to a state of being where nothing is hidden. Mysteries dissolve, illusions fade, and the seeker becomes illuminated. In alchemical terms, this is the creation of the philosopher's stone, not a literal stone, but a perfected consciousness, an awakened soul that sees reality as it truly is. But the Emerald Tablet also warns, the path is not for the faint of heart. This is the strongest force of all forces, overcoming every subtle thing and penetrating every solid thing. Here, it speaks of a cosmic force, the primal energy that binds and moves through everything. In alchemy, it was often symbolized by the elixir of life, or the universal solvent. But again, these are metaphors. The true force is consciousness itself, the awareness that penetrates all matter, dissolves illusion, and brings transformation at every level. This strongest force is not violent, but it is irresistible. It is subtle, yet invincible. It does not shatter mountains through brute strength, but wears them down with the persistent flow of water. It does not conquer hearts through domination, but transforms them with the quiet power of truth. Notice how this teaching flips conventional power structures upside down. True strength, the tablet suggests, lies not in force, but in the subtle mastery of unseen energies. In patience. In precision. In understanding. Next, the tablet unveils another profound mystery: thus the world was created. Simple. Monumental. It suggests that the very fabric of reality emerged through the delicate balance of these forces, the interplay of the spiritual and the material, the ascent and the descent, the subtle and the solid. Creation itself is an alchemical act, an ongoing process of transformation driven by the hidden laws the tablet reveals. Finally, the emerald tablet closes with an affirmation: hence I am called Hermes Trismegistus, having the three parts of the philosophy of the whole world. The three parts are often interpreted as referring to alchemy, astrology, and theurgy, the three sacred sciences. Alchemy, the transformation of matter and self. Astrology, the study of cosmic forces and their reflection on earth. Theurgy, the invocation of divine forces to elevate the soul. Thus, Hermes Trismegistus presents himself not just as a wise teacher, but as the living embodiment of universal wisdom, a bridge between humanity and the divine. And the final words: what I have said of the operation of the sun is accomplished and ended. The operation of the sun, the great work, is illumination, awakening, and transmutation. The tablet ends not with an open question, but with a completed act. It points to a hidden certainty, that the process it describes is not a distant possibility but a living reality, achievable by those who dare to undertake the journey. In summary, the Emerald Tablet is not a set of vague mystical riddles. It is a map, one that guides the seeker through correspondence, transmutation, unity, and illumination. It offers profound truths, but only to those willing to move beyond surface meanings, to live the teachings, and to become alchemists of their own soul. But how can this ancient wisdom be practically applied in the chaos of our modern world? How can you, today, begin to work the great work in your own life? The teachings of the Emerald Tablet may seem ancient, cryptic, even otherworldly, but their power lies not in distant mystery, but in practical application. These are not relics to be admired in a glass case. They are tools, living technologies of consciousness, meant to be used. So, how do we apply the wisdom of the Emerald Tablet to our modern lives? Let us return to its core principles and translate them into real, transformative practices you can begin today. As above, so below, the mirror principle. At the heart of the tablet lies the law of correspondence, the truth that your inner world shapes your outer world. This is more than a philosophical idea. It's a daily practice. Application, inner alignment exercise. Every morning, before stepping into the noise of the world, take 5 minutes to sit in stillness. Ask yourself, what energy do I want to reflect today? If your inner world is chaotic, confused, or angry, you will see these mirrored back to you in your environment. But if you cultivate calm, clarity, and intention, the outer world begins to respond in kind. You are not a passive observer of reality, you are a co-creator. Your thoughts, emotions, and energy broadcast a signal. Learn to tune it. Refine it. Master it. The one thing, connecting to Source. The tablet speaks of a singular force from which all things emerge. Whether you call it God, the divine, the universe, or simply presence, it is always there, waiting for you to remember it. Application, the stillness ritual. Set aside time, preferably at sunrise or sunset, to sit in silence and simply be. No phone. No music. Just you and the silence. Focus on your breath, and as your thoughts settle, begin to observe the presence beneath all movement. That silent awareness is the one thing. The Source. Make contact with it, even briefly, and you recalibrate your entire being. Over time, you'll begin to feel that presence even in mundane moments, in conversation, in traffic, in struggle. This is the path of the inner alchemist, to remain connected to the Source while fully engaged in the world. The alchemical process, transforming the self. The entire Emerald Tablet is a guide to transformation. Not of metals, but of consciousness. Lead into gold. Shadow into light. Fear into power. Application, the shadow transmutation technique. Each evening, reflect on your day. Where did you feel triggered, reactive, or afraid? Rather than judging those moments, alchemize them. Ask, what truth was hidden beneath that reaction? Often, anger masks grief. Fear masks desire. Resistance hides a deeper calling. By shining light on your inner lead, you begin to transmute it. This is the great work, not changing the world outside, but refining the self within until it shines with the gold of awakened presence. Balancing opposites, harmony of sun and moon. The tablet speaks of the sun and the moon, the active and the receptive, the light and the dark. Modern life often pulls us out of balance. We push, strive, achieve, and forget to receive, to rest, to reflect. Application, rhythmic living practice. Structure your day with intentional balance. After periods of intense focus, give yourself time for soft, intuitive activities, walking in nature, journaling, dreaming. Begin to live in rhythm, not in reaction. This brings harmony to your nervous system, clarity to your mind, and nourishment to your soul. Balance isn't just about health, it's about power. A balanced being is far more potent than one who is merely productive. The descent, bringing spirit into matter. The final teachings of the tablet remind us that after ascending to the divine, we must return to the world. Wisdom must become embodied. Application, embodied alchemy. Choose one insight, just one, from your meditations, your readings, or your reflections. Then act on it. Don't just think differently. Speak differently. Move differently. Respond differently. Embody the truth. Make it flesh. The universe doesn't respond to thoughts alone. It responds to alignment, when your inner knowing is mirrored in your actions. Common pitfalls, and how to overcome them. As you begin walking the path of inner alchemy, be aware of these traps. Over-intellectualizing. The tablet is not meant to be dissected endlessly. It is meant to be lived. Seeking shortcuts. True transformation is not instant. Be patient. The gold comes to those who stay with the fire. Avoiding the descent, some seekers get lost in the mystical and neglect the mundane. But enlightenment is not escape, it is embodiment. The practical application of the Emerald Tablet is not a single act, it's a lifestyle. A sacred rhythm. A commitment to seeing every moment as a chance to refine your soul, elevate your mind, and illuminate your path. As we stand at the threshold of this journey, the wisdom of the Emerald Tablet has unfolded before us like a secret map to higher realms. The ancient teachings, wrapped in layers of metaphor and mystery, have revealed profound truths about the nature of reality, the inner workings of the self, and the transformative power of conscious living. But now, as we prepare to step back into the world, we must remember, the journey does not end here. The Emerald Tablet is not a distant relic to be admired. It is a living, breathing philosophy, one that has stood the test of time precisely because it is as relevant today as it was in the days of Hermes Trismegistus. Its wisdom calls us not to passively admire the world, but to actively transform it, starting with ourselves. We are all alchemists, whether we realize it or not. Every choice we make, every thought we think, every action we take is part of a larger alchemical process. You are not separate from the forces of creation, you are a part of them. The very essence of the universe moves through you. So, what does this mean for your life? It means that the power to change is always in your hands. The ability to transmute fear into courage, confusion into clarity, and pain into wisdom lies within you. But this power isn't about control, it's about alignment. When you align with the forces of the universe, when you remember that you are part of something much greater than yourself, then every step you take becomes a step toward divine wisdom. And yet, as the tablet reminds us, this process is not for the faint of heart. It requires courage, patience, and a willingness to face the shadow, those hidden parts of ourselves that we often avoid. But if we dare to face them, we discover that the gold we seek was always within us. The mysteries of the universe are not just reserved for ancient sages and esoteric scholars. They are here, now, for those who are ready to listen, to learn, and to live. They are not secrets locked in dusty tombs, they are living truths, accessible to all who seek them. The Emerald Tablet has already spoken its final words, but its message will continue to echo in your life, if you are willing to listen. As you move forward, ask yourself, what truths are you willing to embody? How will you begin your own great work today? How will you live in harmony with the above and the below? The path of the alchemist is not one of easy answers, it is one of questions that lead to deeper questions, and ultimately to the truth that resides within you. You have the tools, the wisdom, and the potential to transform your world. The only thing left is the courage to begin. If this video has sparked a new curiosity or deepened your connection to these ancient mysteries, I encourage you to explore further. Delve into the Hermetic teachings, study the alchemical symbols, and practice the principles of the Emerald Tablet. And as you do, remember that you are the alchemist, and the universe is your laboratory. Let me know your thoughts on this journey through the tablet, and if you're ready to explore more hidden wisdom, make sure to subscribe, so we can continue uncovering the mysteries of the universe, together.